pretty safe to say. God give it, God take it away. It's the worldwide American way. I'm living.
What's going on, team? Proof here, and today I have a special guest with me. One of my friends. I consider him a friend. I think hopefully he feels the same. My boy John Tjaden, who is now famously known for using zero damage Glendios at Grandfest, was it?
Grandfest in Long Beach.
Grandfest in Long Beach, sponsored by Bushy Road, doing all the stuff and things. And ever since then, he's caused a wave of mayhem over the Vanguard American community, especially on Vanguardians. So say hi to the people.
Hello. I'm the guy who unfortunately is going to cause a bunch of bad people playing the deck on CFA.
So if you don't want to run into Glen Daddy, which is what I like to call him, avoid CFA for about a week.
Glen Daddy, oh no.
Glen Daddy, that's what my friends and I call him.
That's great. I forgot about that.
You're welcome to adopt it. I give you permission.
I think earlier we called Freeze Daddy.
That works too. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk, have a conversation about his deck, his choices, his experiences at Grandfest, his matchups, and all that good jazz. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the deck list on the video here, and I'm gonna have it rotate like every 30 seconds to a minute just to cycle through the deck so you can see it and have a visual for it. But I'm also gonna do my best to put the list down below, because as we know, Lincoln Joker has some really oddball names and a lot of different spellings for stuff. So I'll put it down below in the description, and I hope you enjoy. So thank you for joining me, John. And let's see, where should we start? You want to start with the deck list? You want to start with the tournament?
I do not care. I'm chilling, man.
I like it.
Chilling.
Let's see. Let's start with the deck first, and then we'll go into your matchups.
Simple enough. So would you like to talk about the G zone or the main? Because they're both solid weird.
I like to go from bottom up. So let's start with the grade zeros and work our way up.
All right. So it's simple. 8 draw, 4 create, 4 heal. I'm too poor to own the other 2 foil childs of Superstring Theory. But we got the Sprig Birdies in there. You know, you just call them to rear. They do work. But the main MVP is Paradigm Shift, purely due to the fact that it goes back to deck for free and it locks back row. So when you're trying to do multi-turn world end setups, it basically prevents deck out and locks cards for absolutely nothing. And there's obviously Lacus Karina, who countercharges when you use G-Guard into Lacus Karina. That's about it. Draws are OP.
So you're saying it's too poor to have the other Superstring, but then I see you have Legion rares going throughout. We'll get to that in a little bit, but
yeah, I maxed it. I'm special.
And then for the grade ones, the biggest thing I see that sticks out is you have a lot of the 6Ks in here, which I'm sure goes into your zero damage theory.
So the whole zero damage theory is to everyone's super reliant on Counterblast in the metagame right now. It's all Luard, Rose, Gears to an extent, outside of dumb cards like TikTok Worker. All need Counterblast to function and play the game. And 6Ks allow me to swing into their 7K Vanguards and put triggers to a like Sprig Birdie or whatever and deny damage. That's basically it.
I like that. And then I'm guessing Grab Hand Gorilla is there for the pseudo 11K on your opponent's turn.
He's a card that people don't know. That's purely it. Like there's 12 people who look at me funny, like legit. Just I world line it out, and all of a sudden, hey, there's this gorilla over here, and he's 11K when he gets swung into. So he denies the early rush, and it's okay if you're going first, because then their grade 2s need to be boosted to actually create a column, which is a big deal. So
that's true.
And it helps me like survive till I ride Freeze Ray.
And only 2 Ruin Magicians, which usually you see that as like a 3 and 4. Why you only have 2?
3 or 4, but card's pretty bad when you're not on Glendios.
That's true.
And I'm really on Glendios. I only Glendios when I'm winning the game or decking them out.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get.
Basically, it's there as an oh shit button when you can't actually really recover your reverses.
That makes sense.
That's all it is. Like there are times where I'm like, I wish this was a 3rd, Rune Magician, but it's never enough to like warrant the change.
Yeah.
The other important green ones are like the Unflippers and obviously the PGGs. Most people are wondering like, hey, why aren't you using redirectors? But all those Vanguard specific effects normally cost counterblast, so it's like I'd rather just use the perfect guard and keep my reverses.
That's true. That makes sense.
And it's SP, so
I see that.
gotta go much swag on people. Come on, in a bad deck here. And the other two like really weird cards per se are the Rain Elemental Tier, which countercharges for every face-up Rain Elemental in your G zone, and the generic reverse countercharger for Sodium.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
we're
what
going with that.
that's what that is. I couldn't read what it said, and I didn't feel like looking it up because the name is just kind of.
It's just when it's placed on rear for each unique reverse, which is all the Glendios support outside of Omega Loop.
Right.
They need to be unique reverses, so you can't have like 4 cradles and you can't countercharge 4. I wish it was like that.
That'd be too
But
good.
it's just mainly there for the really long grindy games to where like you actually Legion, which is a rare thing.
Yeah.
Because you just rewrite over the Legion, call Tier, Soul Blast it out, and then Medu the Legion back, and then just cheese some more.
That's smart. I like that. And for the grade 2s, I think the biggest thing people are going to see is that there's no Magnet Hollow to help pull reverses to you. Why is that?
See, that card says you have to hit the Vanguard. I'm not hitting the Vanguard.
That's
Ever.
true. I forgot about that.
Ever. No one wants to hit the Vanguard. I don't want to hit the Vanguard. So the most important card probably in the entire deck is Cold Death. The card is pretty busted.
Now, for those
Like I
that...
spent...
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Basically, it's an 8K, which is a big deal, because again, you're going for the super cheesy, 0 damage, opponent doesn't get to play, so 8K...
And for the people such as myself that don't play Link Joker a whole lot, can you explain what Cold Death does and the significance of it in the deck?
So the big deal is that it calls the top card blocked. It doesn't call from hand, it doesn't lock a card, it calls the top card of their deck on a rear circle. It doesn't have to be open, it just has to be a rear guard circle, and it calls it there locked. Your opponent chooses, but that's huge, because again, Glendios is actually a really solid mill deck. Like, the only mill deck in Cardfight Vanguard, actually. And you have a bunch of pieces to just take top cards. So if like your opponent has like 10 cards left in deck, and you omega loop them for 5, and then you call 3 of these things, all of a sudden they only have 2 cards left in deck, and they're drawing 1 for turn, and they're at 1. What are they going to do?
That's true. And now, does it only activate when you're on grade 3, or do you need a lock card like other?
It just needs a locked card, but I don't play like any early game locking outside of like maybe Freeze Ray, but Freeze Ray only locks on opponent's turn.
That's true. All right, I dig that. And then you have a couple photons for Legion purposes and for locking.
It's purely there. I actually rarely Legioned and then decided to put the mate next to the card because it was always pretty dead. I just played it for the free lock. That's all it is. It's just the card's stupid. It's a free lock that just gets Omega locked by Omega Loop and Glendy Limit Break 4. That's all it is. And then there's the cool only SP10K in the game. Krypton is just a 10K vanilla. Everyone knows why you play those nowadays.
The Bermudas have a SP10K as well. Don't disrespect.
Isn't that a grade 3?
Nah, it's a grade 2. Grade 2 10K vanilla.
And I need to reconsider my life. Time to go look it up.
I know, right? Let's see. For the grade 3s, we have 4 Freeze Ray, which is, I'm assuming, your primary ride before.
It's the only ride. Like, if you ride anything else, you're going to lose. Because you spend the entire early game spamming Worldline Dragon and trying to find, like, because the only reason you're able to play these wonky grade 1, grade 2 lineups is due to Worldline. And you need to find your grade 1s and grade 2s. So you basically spend your turns converting cards from your hand back into reverses by going into Medu with Freeze Ray. And plus Freeze Ray is just a giant jerk. I take 1, I remove the other column from the game. It's okay.
Seems good. And then you have 3 Glendaddies, and then you have 9 reverse units. Is that
8.
8?
Because the last
that's
card
right.
Legion.
That's right. He is not a
Basically,
reverse.
you play for Cradle because it's a Link Choker.
Right.
That's purely it. Like, it's not because it has an effect or anything. It's just a Link Choker reverse unit that you could discard himself on World Line and find another one if there's no other better options.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, how the reverses work in your deck, you can't pick them when you World Line them because they're not Link Chokers.
Yeah.
And then you just play 4 different reverse names. That's it. You can't go duplicates. You need different names.
Now, would you? Well, yeah. Let's ask. Would you change anything about the main deck before we go into the Stride deck at all?
We kind of skipped over Doxic
Yeah.
on accident.
No, it's not. It wasn't by
I-
accident because I remember you talking about it. How you wish it wasn't there or didn't really do anything.
It didn't do anything the entire tournament, but it could have done a thing if I ever saw him. There's actually a lot of Limerick for World End setups if you see him.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could stride into Big Crunch, Omega Lock 2, and then spend your next turn kind of busting one, discarding a reverse, Omega Locking, and then just locking a bunch of cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then because you have Doxic, your Limit Break 5 is now on 4. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just basically World End on 4. But I never got the chance to because I never saw Doxic.
Gotcha. It is handy that you can target Glendios' LB5 and then next turn Stride, and then it's still active because he hasn't left the field at all.
Yeah, Doxic's really solid. It's a good card. Like, there are times where I just wish it was a I think it's the Rubidium, which is the redirector to a reverse, but it's just I don't know, I feel like that's pushing it.
Yeah. I did.
I wouldn't change anything. This is straight out of the first place Fighters Road Japan top, so.
Mm-hmm. Nothing you want to switch about it?
No, I just changed the G zone.
Okay.
And added Karinas, because best heal. You know I'm not lying.
All right, let's talk about the G Zone since we're here now.
Alright, so you got the most important card, Madoo, not Omega Loop.
Madooby-doo.
Madoo is a dumb card. Because you spend your early game just spamming World Line. Not as much as you can, obviously, but whenever you need a specific grade or you want to dig for PGGs or something, you just World Line until you're up to 3. And it converts the dead grade 3s into cards that you can actually use.
Mm-hmm.
But Madoo is important because you're on freeze rate most of the game. And it basically, you're going to see a lot of duplicates of freeze rate because you played at 4.
Yeah.
So you basically gain triple drive. You get a reverse for free for nothing. It's actually borderline broken because you just swing at a rear or just pass turn.
Mm-hmm. So
I never swung at Van with Streds.
So you would usually, if they didn't have a rear guard, you would just stride Madoo, pick up a grade 3, pass turn.
If I wanted to, or I just because Freeze Ray, God bless Bushy Road's design, is a 10k, and all Vanguards that are meta are 11k, right?
Right.
So you just swing the 10k at their Vanguard and put triggers on a rear guard.
Mm-hmm.
Normally it's the bird. And the bird got hate. The bird legitimate got killed.
Out of spite.
I don't know, man. But then there's the second most important card, Omega Loop, because it's Omega Loop. It's probably the most iconic Glendios card nowadays.
Yeah. It's
It wins games.
It's the win condition, or the second or third option win condition.
Yeah, it's normally a win condition number 1 because, yeah, it's a dumb card. Kind of lets to flip up a copy of himself for every reverse unit you have on your rear guard. Your opponent calls the top card locked, and if you're at 5 damage, all locked cards are Omega locked. So that wording there is key. It doesn't say those locked cards are Omega locked. It's all locked cards.
Right, so it carries over.
So you could Omega Loop at 5,
Mm-hmm.
and then call 2 or 3 Cold Deaths, and then a Photon, and then all of a sudden you have World End set up with much less cards than you normally would have.
Mm-hmm.
And that's key. The entire wording on Glendios and Omega Loop are huge to the deck.
That's true. And by extension, what's his name? The Legion, right? Because that kind of operates similarly.
What? Sorry.
The Legion, doesn't he have similar wording?
Involving
Oh no, he
is the
doesn't.
Legion? No, he doesn't do anything. You're thinking of the Dark Zodiac.
Yeah. Okay. My bad.
Yeah, close enough. And then there's just like Volanture, who is just a tech, where if you're on a 10k Vanguard, you kind of bust one draw card, gain 5k, and an on hit, where if it hits the Vanguard, you get a heal back. But you ignore that second half, because it says hit Vanguard. You just play it for the kind of bust one draw. It's solid.
I dig it. Now, why only one Carnia? Or is that something?
Alexis Karina? Because I didn't use her the entire tournament.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, she was useless. She looks cool though.
You would think it'd be more useful.
She's decent, but like the whole issue is you have to like stay on either Glendios to use his Limit Break 4 to make her like actually worth it, and you have to call more cards from her hand. So it's really awkward, but it's like still playable. Like you could use her as a counter charge if necessary. But Cryo Elementals are MVP because Link Joker has a bunch of crap in guards.
Okay. Now that we got Captain Crunch Dragon, can't forget about him.
I used him like twice. He's there. He's there to Omega Lock and Lock a Column.
Pretty much.
He lets you set up multi-turn world ends.
Okay.
That's basically it. He's just a setup card. Like he's not actually there to be defensive.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
If you're playing,
pretty much stride him, do his skill, pass turn,
and then like attack at the other column, because you're fine if there's open rears.
Yeah. Especially because you can mill, because Bushiroad is smart about some of their card design choices.
Oh yeah. And then you get the MVPs of the Cryo Elementals. You get Screw in there, which makes it so your 8 draws are 10k shields at some points, and then you get Raptome, which just converts dead cards into hopefully live cards, which is just the Gleam clone, but it's foil, so I played it.
But a Gleam's so good.
Yeah, but a Gleam is not foil. That's a flaw.
But the artwork is superior. Opinion me.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. It's not foil.
Bushiroad should just put a Gleam as a foil in FC.
That would have made sense.
That would have sold more boxes right there.
Easily.
All right, so that covers the deck. Let's go through your tournament matchups, and then we'll talk about deck strategy, like counterplays and stuff like that at the end.
So, day 1, I went 6-1 to make day 2. I guess you call that X1.
Yeah, X1 because semantics, I guess.
Yeah. Basically, round 1, I sit down and just get smashed by being stuck on grade 1 against a 16 crit STD.
Nice.
Yeah, I felt real good. I probably could have stabilized if I didn't get grade stuck at 1, but I worldlined like 3 times and then couldn't find a grade 2.
Wow.
So I just got clapped. Like, and I'm like, oh, this is how this day is going to be.
Yeah.
Glendios sucks. But round 2 is where stuff gets interesting, because I play the first of 3 Luards.
In a row?
Not in a row, but throughout the entire day.
Gotcha.
So round 2 was this really weird Luard deck that played like Root.
Huh.
No, it played a... Did it play Root? No, it played, I think, the Full Bow Diablo thing. You know, when you kill it, you search...
search for Blaster Dark.
Spirit. You know that cheese?
Yeah.
But he couldn't ever do it because, you know, no counterblast. So people just hardcore spaghetti against having no counterblast.
Nobody. It's such a not a weird position. It's an unfamiliar position to be in, and somebody's just blindly going at rear guards or not attacking that. You don't know what to do.
I'm just swinging at rears, swinging awkward numbers. Like throughout the day, I got better and better at playing the deck.
Yeah. Because
I only played it like 4 or 5 times before then. Because I didn't feel like torturing friends because they're my friends.
That makes sense. That's kind of how it's kind of the best way to do it, especially because it was a free tournament, so you're not really investing anything into it.
Yeah, it was a whim decision. I was originally going to play Rose, but then I suck at Rose, so I just played a deck I knew I'd like.
And we kind of called you out on it. We were like, you won't do it, no balls.
Yeah, you were right. I got him.
We told you, we knew it was a strong deck going into it, but it wasn't seen.
I didn't know that many people had no clue what I was doing. So round 3, I think it was my first of my 2 Gurgwit matchups.
Okay.
And the thing about Gurgwit is I never know what their trigger lineups are.
Mm-hmm. Because like, you don't know if you're going blindly into like 12 crit or something.
Because some people play 12, some people play 10, some people play 6. And it's just like, I don't know if I can no guard.
Right.
And it's just really awkward. So I played against Gurgwit. This is the first time I think I gave a damage throughout the day. I played bad.
It's growing pains, learning pains. It's all good.
Yeah, I dealt the damage. That felt really bad. He didn't do anything with it though.
That's good.
That was the first. So apparently I only did damage to Gurgwit players the entire tournament. So that was really weird. So like I hit him right.
Yep.
And then I gave him one. It didn't do anything. And then I no-guarded at 3. He checked a crit. He put it on Vanguard. I'm like, okay, thanks, man. And then I just world-ended him. Like, I don't know what people are trying to do, but they ain't cute.
That's such an awful idea to give crit to the Vanguard against
Well,
Glendios.
I mean, like, I think he assumed he was going to check the second.
I guess.
Which is fair. But it was so late that I was just like, okay.
I feel by the time...
So I world-ended him.
Yeah.
I think that was the Glendios world end with Gurgwit. There was a deck out and a world end.
Both to Gurgwits?
Both to Gurgwits. I mean, those are all my wins, deck out or world end, so...
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's the only way you can win, or you want to win with
this deck. No,
that's
the only way. No, that is physically the only way.
If you ever win by dealing 6 damage to somebody, I feel it will cause more pain, like psychological pain, than it would just by getting the world end set up. I'd rather lose by world end or deck out than getting dealt 6 damage by Glendios.
Yeah, it's weird, 100%. Because most people just didn't know like what I was doing. They were just like, okay, like every time.
Mm-hmm.
And like some people don't know how to play against like Freezer at all, so that really helps.
It was like was there any like light bulb? Well, we'll get to that. So that was round 3, I think.
Round 3 was Gurgwit. That was either the deck out or the world end.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one was the deck out. The dude tried playing drug out, and I just milled him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that went. And then round 4, I played Blaster. He played Thing Saver, which worried me.
Mm-hmm.
But he discarded 1 to Stride, and I think he only played 3.
Oh.
And then it got late enough to where I was just milling him. And then I Omega Looped for 5, and I milled 3 Thing Savers. So I was just like, oh, this is how this is going to go. So I milled that guy, because I just stabilized, because he didn't understand what I was doing, of course.
So it sounds like you dealt more damage to him, because you said you're worried about Thing Saver, but it needs 2 counter blasts to be...
because the Thing Saver's a Legion.
Oh, that's right, the no deck out
I can't
part.
play for deck out.
Yeah.
So
at least
that
not
was the main issue there.
You can play for deck out, just not against a Legion that can keep looping itself. Kind of.
Yeah, that was the issue.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I milled all 4 copies, and I milled 3, and he discarded 1 to Stride, so it worked out. And then I decked him, and that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was round 4. It was either Bluard, so I played another Luard at one point throughout the day.
Yeah, I know.
It was either round 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's hard to recall matchups this far away, especially because you play so many rounds.
I played a Luard, and I basically this dude was mad for minute 0 for some reason. Because I was talking to this dude next to me, and I was like, yeah, Luard seems pretty bad right now because of the other decks I'm playing right now.
So you offended him.
I should talk to his deck a little bit, and then he flipped over a root. I'm like, oh god.
You unknowingly offended him, so he already had
and then like the game just went like I was just swinging at rears. He was trying to pressure me, and then I no-guarded at 2, and he put 2 crits to Vanguard. I'm like, okay, and then I just world-ended him, and then he looked like he wanted to punch me and left. That was really bad. And then I played the second Gurgwit. This is the first sack, quote-unquote, of the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I no-guarded at 3. He checked 2 crits. I'm like, oh, well, this game's over, and then I 6 damage healed.
Karina save.
And then I immediately world-ended him.
Wow.
That's like basically the story of the game.
That's
it's just immediately world-ending people who put me to 5.
That has to, yeah. I'd be upset about that too.
I mean, he wasn't mad,
but he was just a little sad about it because
he didn't know, like, because Glendios.
Right.
So that was that. And then after that, it was just I think my round 6 opponent was that round 6? Yeah, that was Gurgwit. That was round 6. Round 7 was just another Lord.
So you pretty much
Fang.
You pretty much worked your way through all of United Sanctuary day 1, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it was basically that. Yeah, it was just Royals, Golds, and Shadows just all day. I'm not mad about that because those are all good matchups.
Yeah. Was there any matchup you were fearing day 1 that, especially after you had your first loss, like maybe
whoever plays Alfred in 2017? Okay, I'm afraid of you.
Because
they have the stride that just unlocks for free.
Yeah, no neck dragon.
Counterblast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the only like really bad matchup.
Because I feel like if you're X1 after round 1, that's where you like kind of get down.
I was 0-1 after round 1. I was in losers, man. I was like, I'm like, my life's over. I'm not getting top 8.
Yeah, so like you get the fear that you might roll into a bad matchup or something, like an oddball matchup you're not ready for. So you could have definitely rolled your way into an Alpha player.
Like, yo, dude, there's this Ezel player who's X1. He can smash you, and I'm just like, you just do read the Ezel cards, right?
It's Counterblast 1.
Counterblast 1, Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 3.
Yeah.
For Ezel Scissors, it's Soul Blast 2. But either way, you need Counterblast.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. Free. Give me those.
We take those.
And then round 7 final of day 1, which was basically like 12 hours.
Yeah. Of
just solid sitting there. Because there was some issues with people who can't seem to handle table assignments.
I heard about that. We'll touch on that in a little bit.
I played against Kevin Fang. You probably know him on Vanguardians.
Yeah, I've seen him around.
He's the dude with the 7 SP Blaster Blades. Yeah,
right.
He was playing Luard. And then he put me to 5 and I world ended him. That's basically like the story of matchups. It's just people put me to 5 and I just Glendios them.
Yeah. I feel like if you ever flip a world line, you have to like keep it in the back of your head. Don't put the person at 5.
But like I know guarded at 4.
Oh, okay.
So it was nothing he could have done.
Right.
It was late into the game where I didn't think he had a lot of crits left, so I just no guarded.
Yeah. See, that's different. So that makes sense. I'd do the same thing too.
I mean, it's the entire thing with Glendios is you have to make gambles.
Yeah.
It's all you have to play the cards and pray people don't sack on you.
So either hope for crit on 4, or you have to take them from 4 to 6 in one turn, which is tough.
And so we go to day 2. Next day, rolling in at 9:30. Game started at 11, so I'm already kind of tilted. We started they said get here by 10, and then so we had to wait an hour.
Yeah.
So now it's best of 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking this Glendios dude, he's screwed. Okay, he's gonna go to time. He's gonna lose due to how the damage rules work.
Right.
Nah, boy. Right. Free. Okay. Rose, this dude tries to draw go against me. We just passed turn 20 times. No, 40 times actually. He had 5 cards left in deck. I had 3. Then I just dropped 4 world line paradigm shifts. And I'm like, game? He's like, yeah, game 2. Game 2 was just classic trying to put pressure down, me stabilizing, and then me setting up, going to 5, and world ending. Yay! Omega Loop. Skill. That's all it is. So I 2-0'd Rose. And that's round 8.
Yeah.
So I'm already thinking, hey, maybe I have a chance. So we go into round 9. I sit down. This dude flips over Wild Run.
Whoa, nice. Curveball.
So he's playing Vanquisher at X1.
Yeah.
Round 9. I'm like, oh no. Closer, man. Closer's a mean card.
Closer's rough.
But he threw the game too. So He game one. He tried the pressure plan of trying to keep me down and like just try and pressure, like try and get me to 5 as fast as possible. And he gets me down to like 4 cards in hand. I have a perfect guard and like enough to world end for 4.
Yeah.
4 luck cards, and then I top deck the reverse I needed to stride and rolled in for 5, and then I had enough to PG after. So I was like, all right, I earned this. Like I played to my outs. The only out was drawing that last reverse, and it was like turn like 15 or so.
Yeah.
That game took 25 minutes, so I was like, all right, I need to win this next game, otherwise I'm going to time and losing. So then the dude decides to go, all right, so this is the second person that does this. He just draws in past turn. I'm just like, this isn't real. He's handing me the game, so I just draw go like 40 turns, and then I just
did the paradigm
kept
shift
paradigm
play
shifting until I drew Legion, and then I Legion backed more cards. And I'm just like, yeah, you shouldn't have done this. He actually could have probably killed me if he ever dropped closer, but he never did, so it was really weird.
Yeah.
Well, that was game 1 that he should have closered me, but he never did. It made no sense.
That's tilting people because they don't know what to do exactly.
Game 1 of the Vanquisher player was the time that I set up a 3-turn world end. I remember this. So I stride into a Big Crunch, and Big Crunch's column on the right.
Uh-huh.
And then next turn, he can't do anything, obviously, so he just like swings at Van, and I like make it so it doesn't hit. I'm at 5. I'm just chilling at 5. I'm out of heals because I just drew them. So I'm just chilling at 5. And I drew I had like I have like single Cold Death.
Uh-huh.
I have single Cold Death, 2 reverses, and I need to stride fodder to set up the world end because I think I have enough to guard like 1 Vanguard attack.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do that, like I set up the final world end by doing like Limber Break 4 cheese, like a bunch of weird crap for 2 turns. Because like I'm just trying to play to where I can world end him because that's my only chance.
Yeah.
And and then like his last turn, like he could stride into closer and have a chance of killing me, and he just never does. He just passes.
Wow. So he threw?
Yeah, he threw like flat out. He should have just closered me as soon as he could.
Yeah. Because it retires your board, so yeah, there's no reason to not closer.
This is legit none, but
you take them where you can get them.
Yeah, I'm not mad. So and then so the final round, right? I sit down, and they flip over gears, and I'm just like, oh no, this is where I lose.
Because stuff like Next Stage, Gear Groovy, all those like Reset and Vanguards are tough for Link Joker because of the pressure.
I mean, Cries the Counterblast.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
That's the story of my entire tournament. That requires a Counterblast. But this is the other game where I just give 2 Counterblasts because it's the only way I could like have enough cards to defend.
Yeah.
But then I forgot about Next Stage, so I was just like, oh no, I threw. So I set up the world end, and then I swing with a Mega Loop. And because I have to, I couldn't swing at rear. I could only swing at Van because I needed the cards to hopefully defend the Vanguard attack.
Right.
And I checked draw, and like some other random card, and it was enough to block the second hit of just Jeji. And I'm just like, oh no, I have to no grab this first attack, and I'm at 5. And then I flip over Lacus. So I 6 damage shield the second time the entire tournament, and I felt so bad.
Wow.
So, and then I immediately won due to Limber Break 5. And then we go to game 2. And then she tried the grade stalling at 2, so I couldn't stride and like sit on my hand. But that just let me like eat rears up for dinner and just sit on freezer and eventually like set up at 5.
Yeah.
Because eventually I could just control if they ever want to swing.
Mm-hmm.
I can control when I get to 5, just due to how freezer is. Because eventually she rides up to try and pressure me and kill me.
Mm-hmm.
I like perfect guard 3 times because I had 4 perfect guards in my hand due to how slow she played the game. And then I Omega Loop for 5 and then said go with 2 cards in hand, which was a perfect guard and a like a random card because it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And then she strides, and then she realizes that she's dead and she's just sitting there. Like, what do I do? And I felt really bad. Because, like, after the game was over, she just sat there with her 5 block cards, like, I need to figure out how to beat this. I'm like, oh. I'm sorry. And then, because I kind of sacked her game 1.
Yeah.
That was, like, the final round, and then top weight was called, and I got 8th. But there was only 8 X1s, so
you got that last spot?
Could have made top 8. Like, I was guaranteed top 8, basically.
Okay, yeah.
By going S1.
I wish Bushiroad would do top 16 just for, like, if you make day 2. Oh, can you hear me?
I'm kidding. Yeah, no, I was just joking about saying top 16. I said nope.
Oh, they said hello. I was like, no, lost you. Like, top blah, can't talk. Top 16 will be pretty good just because if you have to go X2 to make day 2 for a chance to make top 8, but then you have to go through all that, like the hotel, if you stay in the hotel and stuff like that, just to get bubbled out or have no chance of making it because there's so many X1s even after so many rounds of play.
Yeah, there were exactly 8 X1s.
Yeah. Like, that's a hard pill to swallow just of how much time you invested into it. Like, I think top 16 will be pretty good. Top 8
makes sense, but so does top 16.
Yeah.
But basically, top 8 is where the wheels came off the bus per se.
The deck.
I played against Chaos.
The deck ran out of. The deck got tired.
The dude flipped crits every drive check. Every drive check, there was at least one. I'm just like, oh god.
Mm-hmm.
And it got worse to where, so Glendios is obviously super reliant on reverse units.
Right.
And the first 3 damage of game 1 were all reverse units. And then the 4th was Glendios. And I was just like, what am I supposed to do?
Right. Scoop up, go to game 2, try again.
Game 2, right. I get the Gorilla Ride, so I'm already chilling. Like, yeah, this is solid. We're in this. But I never got to go first, so I was just always, like, kind of tilted. So, like, game 2, right? And then I couldn't guard his first attack. He flips a card. He flips a yellow card. I'm like, all right, this is how it's going to be. And then I check 2 reverses again. I'm just like,
man.
And then I'm just stuck at 1 forever.
Yeah.
Like, for 3 turns, I'm just trying to stall and hopefully stabilize, but then I just couldn't.
It's all that Karina luck coming back. It's the reversal.
Nah, it's not the Karina luck, dude. It's called dude luckier than me. Like, damn.
Flip yellow cards, get wins.
He flipped so many yellow cards, man. Like, every drive check. Apparently played like 4 draws too, and I saw 0 draws.
I hate
was
that.
Just like, this is how this game is gonna go. I'm gonna go out this lame way. But it was probably the worst matchup in top 8 for me to get. So it was like,
it's pretty bad because
7th, I could have played against Rose, and that would have been pretty fun.
Yeah. And doesn't Chaos play Amnesty, which is a free flip up if you time it?
Counterblast 1, sir.
Oh, it's Counterblast as well? Wow.
Yep.
I ain't learned my Link Joker cards apparently.
Yeah, it's Counterblast 1.
That's rough.
I was like, oh shit, Messiahs are a bad matchup. And I was like, wait, all their cards called Counterblast Iron and mine were free.
Easy game.
Yep.
So wheels came off the bus. You hit a ditch.
I was happy. I got like 4 million posts about, hey, who top 8'd?
Yeah, who's this guy? That's congratulations though. That's a big achievement, especially because it was like 620 players or something like that.
622 people,
which is insane. I think that's
I got top 8 with a really really jank deck. That was fun.
Super low key deck as well.
I mean, I think there was like only one other Glendios player, and he didn't even play the 0 damage version. So
yeah, he's played regular.
He went X2, I think.
He
went X2.
That's not bad though. Congrats
to all right.
So now that we've gone through your deck, we've gone through the tournament. How do you fight against this thing? Should you come across it?
Well, the thing is, right, their starters face down. You don't know that you're supposed to mull for 1s and 2s and rush as far as fast as possible.
Big advantage there, especially in the best of 1 format.
Best of 1 format, I killed it. Purely due to the fact that I flipped Worldline and they already mulled. So, like, you just gotta mull for 1s and 2s and pressure me. That's what the Chaos guy did, and he did it well. So, he didn't. I don't think he planned on it, but it's just it worked out that way.
Mm-hmm.
To where he got to play super aggressively.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're in a best 3 format, take the L game one because you might not make it, and then.
But there's always the issue with that whole strategy is that there's a chance Glendios stabilizes. There's probably like a 60% chance, but it's a gamble you have to take.
Yeah, it's the best out you got, unless you have a deck that can function off of no counterblast, which aren't very many.
There's like maybe one, and that's like dark regular.
My boy Hellheart 8 doesn't need counterblast, so if I can make it and put you in a position to where I can hit, then I can go for it. Yeah,
you gotta push me early and make sure my freeze rate doesn't prevent you from having fun.
Yeah, exactly. Which is the hard part.
Yeah, obviously.
Card is dumb.
Or if I don't like triangle lock you and make you cry.
Yeah, card is dumb.
I have dumb setups that way.
Mm-hmm. Did you have? What do you think would be your toughest matchup, like amongst like the commonly tier 1, tier 2?
Oh, tier 1 decks?
Like tier 1,
all
tier 2.
All the tier 1 decks are free. Like, tier 1 decks are what I want to play against.
Right, because they all need the counterblast to function.
They all need counterblast, like every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Lord can't do anything, Rose can't do anything, Jet can't do anything. Like, they can maybe pressure with TikTok, but that's like it.
Yeah. Gross.
But,
beyond tier 1.
I have all great tier 1 matchups across the board, and okay matchups against most of tier 2. Like, the most, like, jank deck I could lose against, too, is just, like, the Alfred thing I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
But, who plays Alfred in 2017?
Very few. At least ones that may not make it far enough for it to be relevant.
Anyone who's, like, high crits is a worry, obviously, but there's always the chance I stabilize.
Yeah. It might pick up some steam with, when set 11 hits America. It might.
What, the Alfred deck?
Yeah, it could.
Maybe, but I think we'll just see 4 to 6 grade 3 blasters.
Yeah. And
like, he was too good.
It's true. So let's see. Anything else you want to say?
Don't swing at Vanguard. There's been times where I'm just like, they ride a 6K, and I'm just like, oh shit. Well, I'm either have to give him a damage or pass turn, and I just ride and pass turn.
Yeah. That's kind of what
I did that against a big gear player, like 2 games.
And as we learned,
it's just like it's not worth it. I sacrifice a card to make sure they can't like do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's an easy trade-off, especially since I run 8 draws.
And because you take the damage, the draws come through, recoup the advantages that you didn't get beforehand. It makes sense. And as we learned, draw go is not an effective countermeasure to this deck.
No. Please, for the love of God, do not do draw go against this deck. You will lose every time.
Unless you play a Legion that can loop itself or something like that.
Yeah, but even then, they could Omega loop you and ruin your day with Legions.
It's true.
That's what I do anyway.
Draw go leads to paradigm shifting when the deck is low and
/ Garnet.
And then bad times.
Yep. It's all just gotta go play fast. You can't play Vanguard. You gotta play old Vanguard.
Yeah.
Like 7-runner type of Vanguard.
Full field, turn 1, hope for the best.
Yep, that's about it.
That's disgusting. This deck is disgusting. I don't want to.
I regret nothing.
I don't want to go on CFA and run into this thing because I'm sure. Sure, it's going to be it's already had a surge of popularity. Glendaddy sold out everywhere. It's sad times for people coming up.
I feel really bad for what's going to happen on CFA to people because all those people will have no clue what they're doing. It's going to be torture.
Well, hopefully, with the way people play CFA, they'll see World Line and then they'll hard mulligan for 1s and 2s like we talked about.
Hopefully.
That'd be the smart thing to do.
play 12 crit every deck.
Yeah, flip stars and get wins.
That's basically it, actually. You gotta, the whole thing is you gotta pressure as much as possible so I can't stabilize on Freeze Ray, because Freeze Ray is a dumb card.
It is.
Like, there were turns where I get pushed to 5 and then I flip 3 heals and just like, oh, well, alright.
I would scoop up immediately if that happened to me.
It's that person played it out. I applaud them.
I know when I'm defeated. The art of smart scooping, especially in the best of 3 format.
Yeah, it was just I got lucky, pretty much, and I played my ounce. That was basically the entire tournament.
I mean, luck happens. It's a card game, so there's not much you can do about it but try to turn it into your favor as much as possible.
Like at relied on people not knowing what I was doing, and it worked.
It's true.
So,
You came through with an unknown deck, and
I took a list from like 2 months ago that we talked about.
yeah, because he was
updated
like the Japanese national
Fighters
champion.
Road.
Yeah, Fighters Road champion, which was
Yep.
way back in terms of this year, way back. So yeah,
Yep.
it was kind of flew under the radar. He had like one interview. The list wasn't really,
With Card Kingdom.
yeah, and then the list itself wasn't really listed or widely spread out. It's kind of people, I guess people knocked it as a
Kinda
fluke or
just blew it
something.
off.
Yeah, it was like fluke.
Because all like from what I read is people just play against people who had no clue what they were doing,
Yeah,
and it felt like you were just dealing with someone who had absolutely no brain. So take someone who understands what they're doing, and all of a sudden the deck can actually win.
yeah. And you did all the hard work for everybody, especially because
I hope so.
you're giving away the secrets.
Shoutouts to Justin So and Co for helping me with that. He taught me the ways of calling a trigger to rear. Seriously, like, I didn't do that before that, and then he mentioned it, and all of a sudden, like, I win 12 games in a row.
It's amazing, like when you play a deck, you learn and get better with it as the tournament goes on. That's what I experienced that as well. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it's a very good feeling.
It's like, oh, I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. I should do this more type of thing. It's like light bulbs going off, and it's really good. It's really fun.
Yeah, it was very fun. Like, people were... I didn't get as much salt as I expected.
I was going to ask about that, about salty moments you experienced.
Like, there was just the Luard and the Gear player, but the Gear player was barely salty. They were just frustrated.
Yeah.
And the Luard player was legitimately mad.
Was it like certain mannerisms that they did to tell? Was it just more
he
like
packed up his stuff as soon as he signed and just left.
no handshake or anything?
No, nothing.
That's depending on who you are. That's the best feeling or the worst feeling, depending on.
I laughed.
Especially like,
what am I supposed to do? Just like sit there and be like, oh no,
yeah,
this random dude, he's mad at me.
it happens sometimes. We all have moments where we unintentionally make somebody upset or salty. You gotta just take it in stride.
Take it in stride and just run with it.
Exactly. Use that momentum. Let's see. I think I asked all my questions. I think we covered everything.
Pretty much.
Any shout outs, special thank yous?
Just thank God Freeze Roy's a card. And
praise Bushy.
Praise Karina.
Even though she wasn't, her bigger self wasn't that useful.
No, she was useless. Just flipping heels is pretty good.
If you can't flip stars, you flip green symbols.
Green symbols are pretty good.
It's pretty good. All right, John. I appreciate you for taking time to chit chatting with me.
Nah, it's nothing, man. I wasn't gonna do anything anyway. Come on.
All right, man. I'll see you on Discord. Thank you for everybody.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Hope everybody enjoy. If you have any questions for John, you can find him lurking on Vanguardians, or you can find him in the Reddit Discord. Lurking, trolling, causing salt bombs, and
I mean, I got a dude who called me unoriginal for playing this deck. Like, I'm confused, man. Come on.
You're an original net decker.
Oh yeah, you saw that too?
I did. That's one of the few things I saw from Vanguardians in my scroll through my Facebook feed.
You're welcome.
All right, man. I will see you on Discord and hope everybody enjoy. And until next time, peace. Be easy.